It's a chilly, misty morning from Oxnard, California, as Inside Cowboys training camp, driven by Ford, continues on. Kyle Youmans alongside Mickey Spagnola as practice day number 2 is upon us. It's a great day for practice, I think, out here, and we've also got a chance to hear from all three coordinators, including defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, who's going to be on display today.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan Quinn, you got to stay with him because he talks pretty fast. He mentioned he's from New Jersey, right? And when he was talking about teaching the guys how to take notes, right, when he's talking in the defensive meeting, and I was sitting there listening to him, and it all made sense, and I was thinking, where was he when I first got to college and walked into a 500-person lecture and tried to take notes, and I didn't realize you couldn't take down every word, right?
No chance to kind of rectify that at the moment, but you did take notes during his press conference, and what were some of the notes that alluded to his defense?
You know, the thing that I thought was going to happen, everybody wants to know who's starting, where they're playing, and it sounds like what he's doing with this defense is he's planning on a matchup defense to try to get as many guys on the field as possible during the game. So it's almost like basketball, right? You sit there and you see who they got on the court, and it's like, okay, defensively, I'm going to match up this way. And that seems to be the way he's going to do it with the linebackers, the defensive line, and maybe even the safeties. You know, who am I playing deep? Who do I want near the line of scrimmage? Same thing with the linebackers. Who do I want in coverage? Who do I want playing the run? And he's got so many different combinations with so many different guys that he can do that, and it sounds like that's what he wants to do.
A lot of what he said yesterday was something that I think Cowboys fans have been wanting to hear for quite some time. Another thing they're wanting to hear is from Coach John Fossil, and he talked about some of the mistakes that were happening in 2020 and how he wants to improve upon those in 21. Is there something that stuck out of what he said that he could fix this special teams unit?
Well, the kicking part was pretty good. I think the problem they had was some of the kind of gingerbread plays, the trick plays they tried that sometimes they don't work. But again, that's the downfall if you call those things, because they might work, and then if they don't, everybody's like, well, you idiot, what did you just call that for, right? And guys have to know what they're doing. They got to do the right thing. So, I think that he was not deterred. It's like, we will have those plays, and we just have to make sure that we execute them. And even Mike McCarthy last year, when some of them failed, he said sometimes it's the execution. It's not the fact that we called the play or maybe called it at the wrong time. It's the execution kind of let us down.
The media also had a chance to hear from Kellen Moore, and he gave a little insight on if one of the 3 top receivers could have a different role in 2021. We'll talk about that when we return with more Inside Cowboys Training Camp, driven by Ford.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep, only at a Sleep Number store. And by Ford, built for Texas, built for you. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Training camp rolls on here from Oxnard, California, with more Inside Cowboys Training Camp, driven by Ford. Kyle Youmans, Mickey Spagnola, and it's opening ceremonies day here from Oxnard, and one of the fan favorites, Ceedee Lamb, on display. And yesterday, offensive coordinator Kellen Moore told us that, hey, Ceedee could see a different workload in 2021. What did you hear from Mr. Kellen Moore?
Yeah, I listened and I heard that they want to put him in different spots. They don't want him going out on the field in 3 wide receiver sets and the defense saying, okay, he's going to be in the slot. So they're going to use him some more outside. I don't know if that means the workload's more, because they predominantly play a 3 wide receiver offense, right? And he's on the field. Now, they can go 2 and 2 tight ends, and you talked a little bit about that with Dalton Schultz progression last year. Blake Jarwin back. then you can have Ceedee out there, and you can have two tight ends that can get down the field and catch the ball, and it could be Gallup, it could be Amari Cooper. So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see him being used more versatile. The other thing about Ceedee that John Fossil seemed to point out is he's got no problems using him as a returner, and that's a good thing because getting the ball in his hands will scare defenses and scare special teams.
That seems to be one of the top priorities for this offense and for this team moving forward. Here's what Mr. Kellen Moore had to say about using Ceedee Lamb and the importance of his versatility heading into year 2.
That second year is huge for those guys. Just the mental side of it and the confidence that goes with that, you know exactly what you're doing. You can go play fast. Obviously, last year with the compressed offseason, he played a lot in the slot, and obviously we want to move him around a lot more. And so hopefully that provides us the versatility to put those guys around at different positions, create matchups, put guys where we want them to be to hopefully be successful. And Ceedee's one of those guys. He's going to play all over the field. He's going to line up everywhere across the field, and we're going to have fun doing it.
Our Coach's Sound presented by Sleep Number, and we just heard about Ceedee Lamb. Of course, Michael Gallup in the fray as well. No Amari Cooper at the start of training camp. Does that allow one of these other two top wide receivers to maybe emerge as the top guy heading into 2021?
You know, I don't think so. You got to remember, Amari Cooper last year with 4 quarterbacks ended up catching more passes than he ever had in his career. He's the number 1 receiver, but here's the deal. They're basically in mini camp practices until Wednesday. So what's happening right now is more of a review, and it's really not anything that he's missing that it's going to cause them to go, I don't know, he's behind. So no, I still think Amari Cooper's the guy, and I'll guarantee you, if you ask somebody on the other team on defense, they'll say, we're going to worry about Amari Cooper.
No doubt about that. Dak Prescott, of course, it's refreshing to have him back. But what about behind Dak Prescott? Does Ben DiNucci have a chance at the number 2 quarterback slot? We'll mention that when we come back on Inside Cowboys Training Camp.
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Final segment of Inside Cowboys Training Camp from Oxnard, driven by Ford. Kyle Youmans, Mickey Spagnola, and Mike McCarthy mentioned a couple days ago that he's been very impressed with what Ben DiNucci has done throughout the offseason, says his weight is better, says his strength is there. Now can he transfer that to the field? What do you think about his chances in the quarterback competition?
You know, I think this is one of the big questions the Cowboys have to answer in training camp. Who's the backup quarterback? Is it one of those 3 guys, DiNucci, Rush, or Gilbert? Or might that backup be somewhere else right now, and they got to keep their eye on free agency? You know, he talked about the process, how they, evaluate the guys every throw, every practice. But he did point out DiNucci. He didn't mention the other guys' names. He mentioned DiNucci. So I always thought he was awfully good in college. He had an unfair chance last year. No offseason, no preseason. Barely got any practice in, and then all of a sudden the quarterbacks go down, and it was like, hey, Ben, guess what? Get in there. You didn't have any preparation, so let's keep an eye on him.
Now, of course, with Garrett Gilbert, is he the straight advantage, or does he have the advantage in terms of the backup spot at the moment?
I think so, just because he's been in the league longer, although they both have the same amount of NFL starts, 1 each, and that doesn't make me feel very comfortable.
Yeah, not at all, and the Cowboys are going to have to figure out a way to decide who that backup quarterback will be. He's Mickey Spagnola. I'm Kyle Youmans. That'll do it for this edition of Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, was brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store. And by Ford. Built for Texas, built for you.